Here we go. Oh, that's right. It's go time. Go time for what? It is go time for some restocks. T-shirt restocks are in of the vehiculars, to be a little more particular. If you got blue patina and you look good, just sit over here and pop your hood. Dancing King delivery. She's in stock now. Gertrude, the 64 International, in stock now. You looking good, girl. Edna. 68 International Travelall, in stock now. Looking sharp as ever. Yeehaw delivery rig, in stock now. You're always good to me. Lastly but not leastly, we got the workhorse that used brute force to make things go her course. She sailed the 7 seas. She's seen the sandy shores. We got the Torolla, in stock now. Atta girl. Fair warning, very limited quantities available, guys. When we restock these, we actually do a small amount. We don't do like what we do on an initial design of a big order. Now, these are not limited edition like we do on some of the designs, but we ain't gonna have a lot of them, and once they're gone, it could be a good while again till they're restocked. We only do it so often. So, if you wanna get them while they're hot. puddins.fab.shop. Vehicles in stock now. We appreciate all y'all support. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Man, oh man, here we go again, guys. And we are back with some wagon action. That's right. Now, some of you may be tired of the wagon, but I am not. I'm not tired of it because we drug this thing out of the junkyard. We did the rebuild on it. We were very close to having it on the road, but then we had to do our shop move and our shop setup and all of that. But we are back to working on cars. And last week we did some on it, and we found some issues on it on the back. Some stuff we're gonna have to address and fix. And we still got a little bit of stuff to do on the end. I made a list, okay? We got a list of crap to do. If you look right up here, oh yeah, crap to do. And there's everything. Now, y'all hear all that ruckus in the background? Of course you hear that ruckus in the background, guys. Y'all know we have started the add-on to the shop for the other business side of things. The business that ain't the actually working on stuff business. And anyhow, we had the concrete did. Last week they started framing. 3 days of framing, got them to that point. Now they're sheet metaling starting today. Which I was like, ooh, that's awesome. Until I came out here and heard impacts, brrr, sheet metal cutting devices, brrr, and I went, oh man, today's gonna be a noisy day. So bear with us as they do what they gotta do. I will be extra loud. I can be loud if you need me to be loud. You want me to get loud and sassy? You want me to turn it on? Guys, I can scream if I have to. I ain't scared. Those guys basically get Puddins Fab Shop Live, the audible version. So that's it. Today we're gonna roll into our wagon. Now you may notice she's missing some front wheels and tires. That's right, guys, we got robbed. Someone come in here when I was gone and took my wheels and tires. I don't know who has them. Just playing. On the second channel video, we went and got old Will Hop Wilmer and got her delivered over here. And yeah, so we need to reclaim these. But she just looks so good on them. I don't even want to take her off of them, but we got to. So I do reckon that'll be step one, is we got to reclaim our wheels and tires here. Hoping if we kick that, then this holds this, then we can take that, move her to the front. And just in case things don't go as planned, why don't you say, yeah, we cut that sucker towards the right. So she starts to roll away, she goes that way and not towards the old box truck. That'd be some head-on big truck action right there. I'm sorry, Wilma, I ain't think you got enough Wheaties left in your hind end to go head-to-head with that Ferd. That Ferd put a hurting on you. Hey, I got an idea. That block's almost too big, but I forgot. I had some wood chunks that I stored in here. Raccoon jumps out. Oh, by wood chunks, I meant some 8x8 posts that are probably bigger than them cedar blocks. Cinder blocks, not cedar blocks. God bless America, I'm gonna hush my mouth. It's fine, it'll hold or it won't. How's that? Oh, silly me. I should just set the parking brake. Should be good now. Put that there too. Now she's double safe. Yep. Classic saying right there, 2 will do. Going down, going down. That'll help keep it from rolling too, kinda. They are flat, but I bet she could get going down the hill with a decent shove. Now I get to be Sir Huffington and huff all this crap into the shop from here. No big deal. Nice little morning workout. Get our wheels and tires in. We'll get the travel all out. Still need to unload them bedside boxes. Don't back into the truck, don't back into the truck. Don't hit the shop, don't hit the shop. I don't know who thought parking there was a good idea. Let's go off-roading. Whoop! Guys, this rig's practically a rock crawler at this point. Going on up. Hey, hey, hey. All right, she's up in the air. Now bounce it around like you just don't care. Just playing. Do not knock your wagon off the lift. Lift safety 101. Do not knock car off lift. All right, now a lot of my mess ups is back here on the back on the rear end jack. Now this is not a mess up by me, but I thought it was coming out of up there, but I actually think it's coming from right there. But I think we're gonna grind out both of them and put a little weld in each one. Guys, this car is a 61. It flung a rod out the side of the motor in 69 because someone thought they had him a hot rod. And it's been in the salvage yard since then. So this car was only on the road for 8 years. So this came from the factory, more than likely, with a little pinhole right there. Next up, we have some clearance issues because I'm a dummy. That's right, these tabs I added for our disc brake kit is hitting up there, so they're in a terrible spot. So our whole brake setup, assembly, whatever, we're gonna have to take off our hard lines, which is fun. Then we're gonna have to remove them brackets, and we may bring them pert near down here on this where we know we have plenty of clearance. I say that, and then we might go up here and hit this at angle. We gotta find where we want to put them, which means then we're gonna have to build 2 new brake lines, which is my absolute favorite. No big deal, loose seal. We'll figure out how to do that. And then the last thing, we gotta stretch our parking brake cables. So as I was driving this sucker last week, the brake would drag here or there. Well, I got to look at last week, and as I was bouncing this, long story short, I can tell the cables are really tight. And as it was bouncing some, it was actually cycling this lever, and cycling that lever is what actually sets your parking brake. So that's not good. We don't want that cycling from the vehicle bouncing. So I should be able to stretch this clip here, which is kind of what I did here, because these aftermarket cables weren't even close to the correct length. So we got to stretch that kind of like that. Let's start with grinding some pinhole welds out from the factory. That's what we're looking for with that right there. I'll swap that out for this one here. It's got that little ball. We should be able to really work that in there and work down, get it prepped for a nice little zap of the welder. Zap! I just break that. Nope, wrench slip. Little air tool lubrication in the situation. Oh, got an air hose ready, do I? I didn't even know I was prepared. I guess I should pay attention where I'm grinding instead of looking at you guys. Yeah, I think that's it. Focus, focus. Not hardly, but right there, you can see the hole, the little void or whatever. So See up there though? She's pretty rough. I'm gonna go ahead and do that one too, because I'm not convinced a little ain't coming out of there. I think she's ready for a welding. Lou, skip to my Lou. Skip to my Lou, my darling. Hi-ya! Oh man, gas bottle was left on. We're gonna be out of gas. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Oh no, there's enough for a tacker 12. Good thing this baby don't leak. Oh, she ain't gonna be able to fit. She's a little wide. She needs to lose a couple pounds. Psych! She'll clear. Weld up this poo, my darling. Plug her in on the left. So now we're using this circuit, so just don't weld and lift at the same time. You'll be perfectly fine. Turn back on your freshly cut off bottle. And we'll probably tune her up towards kill mode here, where it comes in a little hot. We're going for a quick zap, quick little spot weld or something like this. You'd rather it be a little hot. Also, we want to check our nozzle. All this, make sure she's pretty clean. That way we get a nice fresh little zap. I'm even gonna purge it, make sure we got gas flow from the start, and trim that sucker down. I'm gonna Michael Jackson this sucker. We're gonna just go one glove for the left hand. That weld didn't start off good. Grind it out. Grind it out and try again. May have her cranked up a little too hot. Yeah, pulling trash out of that metal is what we're doing. So if you look here, this one welded really good. I watched a little bit of trash come out at the very end. We'll probably grind that down and zap that. I bet it'll be good. Now up here was a little different story. Up in there looked like it was almost like a hairline crack, 3/16 of an inch long or so. And I'm pretty sure as we're welding right there, we're pulling all the crap out of there. Yeah, not looking pretty. Good thing about metal though, guys. We can grind her out and do her and do her and do her until we get it right. Alright guys, pretty good there. Turned the welder down, had her in a little too hot. It did get a little porous at the very end, but that's when I made it into our paint, guys, and it pulled it there at the end. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. I think I should have just stopped a second or two sooner than I did, because the actual stuff was coming from up here. So I'm pretty sure with both of them there, we should be good. I'll let that cool off. We would paint it, but we're gonna have some painting to do as we figure out this other crap. So I'm not too worried about it right now. Leak should be fixed. I'm looking for nothing in there. Dang it. I'm looking for some plugs for our brake lines, or for our little brass tee, I mean. And all I can find is tube nuts, which don't do us any good. Right there we have one, but that's British thread, guaranteed. I remember taking that at the side of the Toyota block for the whatever. So that's British pipe thread, don't do us no good. I had more brake fittings. I remember they used to be in a coffee can, maybe in this thing right here. Well, I was gonna pull them lines and then plug it, but that ain't gonna happen, because I ain't going through that tote right now. That'll take damn half a day. We can probably just try to pinch off our brake hose, I guess. I know some people do it. I'm not a fan of doing it, so I'd prefer not to. Well, shit the bed. What's our plan here? I'm gonna just let her drain, guys. Let's pop them suckers loose. Fortunately, it just kind of is what it is. I'll just let her drip on out there. It's gonna go into our perfect drain pan. Barely splashing at all, hardly making a mess. We can't reuse these brake lines, so there ain't no sense in not worrying about bending them. There we go. Crack that side where she can vent. Woo, we're pissing now. She's a-flowing. She's a-flowing and a-going and a-having a real good time. So next, we'll finish pulling that line. After she drains, we'll pull it on this side, just leaving our brass T. And then we'll have to figure out how to get our tabs off there. Looks like I put about 3/4 inch of weld on it, so we should be able to get them off somewhat easy. We may even just send this sucker up in there and use that ball and grind off the weld and snap her off there. Then we'll be able to reuse the tab with a little proper cleanup. Now that's thinking. Dang, that clip was all there. All right, with her moved out the way, as that still drains, we can come to this side and start playing with our tab. Maybe sneak my light up in here. Oh no, I got bigger weld on that one, didn't I? It's all right, I ain't scared. Mama didn't raise no punk, we'll get it. We'll get her with the little nubby ball of death. You ready to give her hell, baby? Oh, she's ready. She is ready. That weld was not a very good weld, guys. Getting the welder snuck up in there is kind of a pain in the butt. Would we have ever had a problem with that coming off with the job it was doing? No. But am I gonna act like that was a really good weld? No. Am I glad it was a really bad weld? Yes, because we had to remove it and it just made it really easy. And the top of the rear end feels perfectly fine. We can put some paint on that and it's like it never ever happened. Old claw hammer does the trick again. Light it up, grind it out. Get slapped in the face by a hose? I don't think so. Not today, floppy hose. Also, I'm very happy I didn't weld that on both sides. There we go. Should have grabbed this whenever I was over here. Hopefully we can snake it in on top of that rear end, smooth out the little bit of weld that's up there. That's good. Take your hose, flip your cap to spill all the fluid on your hose and the floor. Oh yeah, that feels nice. Looks nice, feels nice. After a little paint, it's gonna be like it never even happened. So we need to clean up our brackets here. You can tell where that one was hitting. It was getting the most of it. Well, that one was hitting too, so at least I'm consistent. Hell, before we clean them up, we're gonna clean our hands up. And to do that, we're gonna use our TKO hand cleaning wipes by the Sweet Patina. These TKO hand cleaning wipes, they knock out all the rest. Just ask the packaging. Don't flush them down the shitter. You'll be in bad shape. In fact, you probably don't want to wipe with these things either. What are y'all doing with these hand cleaning wipes? That's the first time I've ever noticed that. In fact, guys, Sweet Patina makes a whole line of great products, like their Get Gone Degreaser, so fresh and clean, all-purpose cleaner, a little happy ending final detail wipe, and of course, you gotta keep some glass wipe for that clean, streaky, clean glass. No streak-free, clean glass. Now let's say you're fighting some old rusty bolts, guys. You may want to hit that with the skeet freezing penetrant lubricant. Just put a little skeet on it. Last week y'all seen we scrubbed that whole thing down with our all-purpose cleaner. Then we hit it with some of the patina sauce to give it that nice flat sheen. The Sweet Patina, he's got a full line of products, guys, and if you want to get you some, just head on over to sweetpatina.com. Just be sure to use the old promo code on the screen. I actually went for the hand cleaning wipe because we are gonna do a little cleaning over here on our axle tubing, whatever. Try and get this brake clean or brake fluid off there. We wanna get that clean before it starts to take off our paint. It's a good hand cleaning wipe, guys. We're cleaned up now. Oh yeah, clean up our brackets. Before we clean these up too much and whip them back into shape, actually we kind of need to decide where we want to put them. Because as you can see, that was cut to go on an axle. It's got the curve to it, but I don't know where we're gonna go back to. What if we hid them suckers down on the bottom? Lowered car problems, you know. We may have to lower this thing down and try to crawl underneath it some and make sure it ain't gonna be rubbing somehow. Ain't got no good place for it. What if I turned her like that on the back of the bracket? I think it would clear everything. It ain't hanging below this, so we shouldn't worry about it catching on nothing. It'd be clearing our tire. But if that was tucking into there, then we may be getting into hitting the kick down of the frame. I don't know, I just don't like that hanging down there. Seems sketchy. Can't go too far that away because then the hose binds up. Go too far that away, the hose gets tight. All right, guys, I've looked, I've stared, I've overthunk, and I think I've made a decision. I think I'm gonna put it flat on the back of these brackets sticking up. That's kind of guarded from our link bar, the bracket itself, and it is out past our frame. So then when we bend up our lines, we can bend them to hug to the rear end. And then we should be getting into bump stop before the top of it. It's gonna kind of curly cue around the back and be a little goofy, honestly. But I do believe it's gonna work. Let's clean up our brackets. Just move your vise where you need it, you know. The mark from that edge over 1.5 inches. We're gonna trim that. Shoot them sparks right at them microfibers. That's a solid idea. Line up our holes, mark that sucker. Next, we're gonna flatten them out some here. They got a little curve to them from being smacked. So we'll just smack it back. Not too shabby. This one's a little worse. Oh yeah, I took it right out. It's a lot better. Quick little cleanup. And then we want to pick where we're going to stick. If we went just right above that hole, that would make it easy to stay consistent and match the other side. If we went right below the hole, that would make it easier to turn 90. And if we went right across the hole, we could just split the difference. Right across the hole it is. That ain't gonna allow much weld room, but I'll be honest, I don't think we need that much. We'll just prep around the whole area in case I change my mind. We'll get to do that weld again because guess who forgot to turn his gas on? So it welded fine, and then right at the end as it lost its gas coverage, it blew out the whole weld. Perfect. Apparently I forgot how to fabricate because nothing's going right. That's why they call me two-timing Tommy, because I do it all 2 times. What is going on here? Holy cow. There we go. I found my problem, guys, is the regulator. I had to adjust it when I was welding. It was dropping down to like barely any coverage. So we adjusted on her where we're flowing about 14, 15-ish. And hey, oh, guess who wants to weld all of a sudden? Hey, look who wants to weld. Yep, that'll work too. Now all we gotta do is let them puppies cool off where we can clip them into place. and start figuring out our lines here. Can't even get that wrench on there, it just keeps slipping. There we go. Just had to get the brake line wrench, the proper one there. I need some longer tube nuts is what I need. They make them ones that are quite a bit longer than these ones. That's what she could use. Thing try to attack me. Yeah, bending this lineup's fun. You gotta come out there and hit that hard 90 quick. Now I did order us some proper brake line clips because when we put this together I didn't have any. I just put these little clips on there. The proper ones are supposed to come in, but they ain't yet. So that clip will hold us to get that mocked up. And if we rotate her one more click, now she's gonna rub the shock. So right there it is. Let's go see if we got some brake line building material. I did not think about that. We will need these tube nuts we had found earlier since I just tore up those two. We got some brake line right there, 3/16. So we need that, and then our brake tool, brake flaring tool, brake flaring kit. So first off, I just want to cut us a piece that's a workable length. Something about like so, where we can start to shape her up here and see if we can get it where we want it. I think we need to get our piece on there and just 90 it as quick as we can, and then 90 it down. Actually, we could just do a little kink. Yeah, that would work. All right, this one shouldn't be too bad. Let's not make her any more complicated than it has to be. First thing we want to do is deburr that. Right here, professional deburr tool. It'll deburr it or it won't. Next up, take your clampy thingy. Pop a 3/16 line in the 3/16 hole. We're going to take this thing that you insert in there, and we're going to set that there and use the thickness of that to set our depth of how much is allowed to protrude through the clamp. Clamp her down. Drop that sucker in there. Then you put that on there. Let's just get it snugged up here. We'll take her to our vise. Now that'll hold that. This will clamp that, but what's gonna clamp that? I don't know. I'll just lean on it and do it. Run that sucker down. It's gonna smush it on itself. That's not coming out there. Never had one do that before. It's not a good sign. I think I wedged it on itself. So it really just balls that material up on itself and makes it nice and thick. Next, this is what makes the double flare. You bring this sucker in, run her down again. You want it to get snug, but you don't want to just plumb kill the thing smoking it. That's pretty good. Might give her just a little extra. Yeah, I like that a little better. You flare that sucker down and it's gonna give it the flare we're after. All right, pretty nice looking flare actually. That's a cheapo kit, guys. That's like the $24 one off Amazon, okay? Next, we're gonna pop a tube nut on and we're gonna go start working this sucker into place. So before we go over there, I'm gonna clamp that there loosely. I'm gonna shove this over roughly 3/16 of an inch from the end of the flare. And then I know we need a 45 over there, so I'm gonna go ahead and bend that. That may have been more than I was planning. I mean, that's about 45 though. It may not need a 45. Let's just start to work her into place now and we'll see. I don't know, that'd be pretty good right there. So right around here, we wanna level up. Probably right in there our bend can start. We'll get real technical for this one. Kind of bent her by hand there. Our piece is too long here, so I'm kind of curling it just where we can try to get this mocked back up. I realize I was just kind of curling it the wrong way, but that's all right, don't worry about that. And this is not looking the prettiest. Just kind of eyeballing it here. I think we need to start curving right in there to turn 90 down. Give me a little line back here so I know which way to reference. Them old strong fingers got that sucker tightened down apparently. That's me, I'm strong fingers. Or he cross-threaded it or he wedged it or something. Here we go. All right, first, we're gonna kind of straighten that back out like we had never bent that. Then we know if we're going there, it needs to turn down 90 this way. So I'm gonna just turn 90 down that way. You know, maybe I'll straighten that out a little more. And I'm gonna go cut this off. With their trim down, kind of mock that up. I think right in there is pretty good. Marker where we need to cut it, flare it. Don't forget your nut. You forget that tube nut, you'll be making this damn thing again. Voila! Let's see if it'll actually go into place. Once we get this in, we may have to tap back on that to kind of hug it to the rear end. Hey, sometimes you just gotta hug a rear end, you know what I mean? Huh? You know what I mean? Now with both sides started, you can see what I mean about I'd like to kind of lean that back that way. And this side we could actually pick up on, get it off there some. I don't think we'd ever really have a chafing problem because there's enough of that laying on there, but yeah, we'd probably prefer to have it off. Kind of better safe than sorry situation. Right there's pretty dang good. Ain't too mad at that. It's short enough, we got plenty of adjustability in it. We're gonna take that, guys. I'm just gonna leave her mocked up for now. And my belly's telling me it's lunchtime, so I'm gonna go grab a sandwich. And then after that, we're gonna figure out our other side. Oh, let's take her down a little more. Get some weight on this sucker. Just curious about how that was gonna look right there. It will get lower than that, but I think we'll be all right on our clearance there. I just wanted to check that before we actually moved on. We may get fancy here and use the actual bender for this other one. She's a little more difficult. Maybe in there, hopefully. Whoop, 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 whoop. Boom, gave that the flare job deluxe. I'm fairly certain we're gonna be able to manipulate that right where we need it. So before we actually go back together for the last time, I'm gonna pull this sucker apart because we gotta get a little paint on our bare metal. Oh yeah, that shaky ball was going to town. I know what paint I used on that. We got that same paint right here. I'm gonna try not to overspray none of our stuff too much. Let's see how I do here. A lot easier to control because it's spraying really good from being shaken up so well. Sounds like them sheet metal guys are getting rained on. Wonder if my time-lapse camera's still out there. We'll go check in a second, no big deal. Give that paint time to dry. And our parts got delivered here. Whew. New fancy brake clips. Let's go see if we can tap these into place. Welcome back to another episode of Claw Hammer Customs. Today we put the hammer down. Oh yeah, that ain't going nowhere. There we go, there we go. So I figured out that's how I actually got those tight, was because with that clip off that, you can suck that out of there, get your wrench on there, and still wedge it in that hole to tighten it or loosen it. It's pretty dang tight right there. Hi, I'm Claw Hammer Clayton of Claw Hammer Customs. If you need some brakes repaired, I got a claw hammer right here. Oh man, I forgot to dust in the top of the axle tubes where we did a little grinding up there. Oopsie daisy. I'll get in there and sharpshoot it, I ain't scared. Got it. Clipped, painted, clipped, tightened, everything should be good, ready to bleed it. It's weird, it's not as tight as it was the other day. I mean, it's still pretty tight. Next up, we're gonna hop here to our parking brake cables. I'd like to kind of figure out, we need slack. These aren't the greatest of angles because these could be longer, but we can't make it that longer. So we could entertain cutting that, maybe twisting it, re-welding it. We could cut off that whole bracket and relieve it this way some. What do we want to do here to get this right? You can see from that being tight, it's playing hell on it. I don't even know where I'm going to loosen this sucker up at. I've come up here and release it here some. That adjusts that. Loosened her up enough to pop that. That goes through that pulley, so now we got all the slack. So we can pop that. Before we decide how much to extend this, we need to decide if we want to rework these units or not. To rework or not to rework? That is the question. Yeah, hell with it. We're already here. Got the welder close, and we're trying to make all this stuff right, so let's make it right. You could say she's got a little tension on her. I think we'll basically just connect the dots right there where that little cross member just kind of flows. We'll try to basically get it where you can't even tell they were ever there. There's one. There's two. That was a little spicy. So we take our piece after we sliced it off there, and we kind of shove it that away. That's going to take some of the tension off of it. You can see which way it's kind of wanting to kick there. So we can't just plumb turn it sideways. I got a plan here. The plan is to cut that corner off, shove it in that edge. That takes some tension off of it long ways. It's going to take a little out of the angle out of it. I think all in all, it'll be a better spot with these cables. Oh yeah, that's way more gooder. I marked this side. I put them together and I marked this before I welded that. That way I knew where to cut. I'm gonna go eyeball it. If it's good, we're gonna slice, weld, get her caught up. They're permanent. Oh, baby. Guys, you weld it hot, air cool it with the little nozzle thingy. Get her to the perfect amount of temperature and hit her with that paint, and it'll basically bake on there just perfectly. And as y'all can see, most people probably wouldn't even know that was ever changed. I mean, it just kind of looks like it came like that. We didn't really change much on it, really. But what we did change is gonna make a huge difference, I promise. So next, we need to get us some clips on here. And guys, this is just part of it, because this kit was a really cheap eBay kit. And I'm sure if you spend really good money, maybe you'll get a kit where you don't have to modify stuff. But in the custom car world, you could spend good money on stuff and still end up having to customize it. This was a cheap kit, and yeah, this is just part of the shakedown process and the learning curve of, you know, building it. We should have did a little better job, but after driving it, hopefully this is our issue causing the dragging, and we get her fixed right here. Luckily, them brake clips I got work for those as well. So that gets rid of them little goofy clips we were using. All right, next we will put this back together. We will then pull some tension. And yeah, we need to still stretch that thing. We ain't gonna stretch it near that much. Imagine just 1.5 inches or so would probably give us plenty. Y'all know me, I'm just out here firing from the hip, baby. Get down, do that, get down, do that. First we'll cut her in half. Yep, that's it. It's a little thinner, not quite as wide, but we'll make it work. The welder is welding on the welder. Repeat after me, class. Good enough. That'll work for now. Let it get a little dry time. And as that dries, let's look at our power steering leak that we're continuing to have. All right, what size is it? 9/16 or 1/2 inch? It looks to me like that fluid's coming from right there where that bolt is. That bolt, I think, is for some of the brackets. But I realized fluid could come out of there, so I'd cut some short bolts and put thread tape on it. So maybe it just ain't sealing or something. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna pull that bolt out real quick. There's our little bolt. I got some sealant stuff we could try putting on there maybe. We got this Blue Monster PTFE pipe thread sealant. Works with acids, compressed air, ammonias, chlorinated water, heating oils, hydrogen, jet fuel, kerosene, lacquer, nitrogen gas, natural gas, gasoline, sugar liquid, vegetable oils, soap, liquid, you name it, this crap here will seal it. Nothing else I'm doing is working. This stuff gets a little messy. We'll see if that fixes our problem or not. I ain't gonna hold my breath on it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Putting these on reminds me, you can tell the wheels are cut like it was turning. I'll show you why in just a second. The wheels are cut because when I popped underneath there to see if the power steering was leaking the other day, at the end of the day, I seen the nut for our pitman arm on our steering box and I knew I'd tightened it up, but I hadn't checked it since driving some and I decided we better check it. So I grabbed old Big in here and I checked it and it's a good thing I did because I actually got a few turns on it. Ooh, it's pretty tight. Torque that with another turn where I'm happy with it, and we can finally go back together with this. The one-handed wonder here. Oh, I had it, and then I lost it. Ta-da! Tighten that up right there. May want to spread our cotter pin. Apparently never done that. Guys, I don't know how much y'all can tell the difference of what's going on here, but that's tight, but it ain't bound up. You know, these, you could not move them before. I mean, they were in bad shape. I think we're gonna be sitting a whole lot better. Well, I wish I had someone to help me bleed these brakes because we could conclude by bleeding the brakes and seeing if she's gonna drive again. Kind of slightly, sort of, kind of pick up our mess here. I say that because we're really just sitting it over here on the toolbox. Front one's plumb full, rear one, not so much. Hiya! Too blind for that crap, guys. I was trying to catch it and couldn't see it. Got our water bottle dried up. I'd rather spill a little bit on the toolbox than a lot of bit on the car. Much easier to control. Going live! It's flowing! All right, guys, when I first fired it up, it started flowing good. Then it was kind of just stagnant. It's going slow, and I was like, all right, that ain't good. Good vacuum, guys, and a good open line. That sucker should just be flowing. If it's going slow, it could be an indicator that you've got a leak somewhere, and it's sucking air somewhere else, so it's not pulling really well. But in this case, what it was, I was like, you know what? Maybe I didn't open up the bleeder enough, and I checked it, and sure enough, another little like one spin on the bleeder opening it, and that stuff just started going. So I just didn't crack the bleeder enough the first go around. Hopped over to this side, it was just flowing like crazy. We definitely got pretty good steady stream of fluid, so if we could get someone to pump her a few times, I think we'd be sitting pretty. Good again? Uh-oh. So here's why we always want to pump our pumping, because when you build a little pressure, if you're leaking, you'll find it. Oh, that's not good because that's really tight. So, the breaker loose. I don't know if y'all can see or not, but I broke it loose. And I'm actually going to wiggle on it and tighten it back up here and hope we get a seal this time. Okay, will you pump on it? Can't tell if it's leaking or not because we already got a mess. Looks like it is. That's pretty steady dripping. Dang it. I want to tighten it no more than that. That was a lot. You pump on it again. Oh, I think we may have got it. Just had to torque on her a little bit. All right, I'm gonna keep bleeding. Ready? You got it held down?
Yeah.
Okay, will you pump it a few times? All right, you still got it held? Okay, don't let go yet. Okay, go ahead. And pump it. Last one. Does it feel like it has a brake pedal?
Yeah.
Will you cycle it a couple times? Let me watch back here. Okay. Got them bled out. Wipe this down, check for leaks a couple times. I think we're good here. I ain't losing no more fluid. Ashley said it feels like it has a pedal, so hopefully we got a good pedal in there. Maybe y'all could see I still put this thing on our bleeder. That way we don't spray our fluid just plumb everywhere. We can hopefully catch it in our little container here. And I was real smart. As I was waiting on her to get up here, I decided to do some cleaning. And part of that was blowing the floor where I was ready to sweep it. And I blew most of that underneath the car so I could just lay in it. That was real smart. All right, good deal. I topped that sucker off. Was hoping we didn't lose too much, which I didn't figure we would. Go about right in there. Well, there we go. I think our brake system's gonna be a-okay, or I hope so anyhow. Like I mentioned, I cleaned up kind of most of what I could. I got a little more to clean up. We're pretty close 5 o'clock here, and they're talking about possible hail and other stuff. So I'm gonna keep cleaning up, guys. And then the truck, the U-Haul, the Travelall, I'm actually gonna pull all them in, and just in case where it hails, they're protected. Anyhow, that's it. Not a bad day's worth of work. I was hoping to get one other thing done, but I ain't gonna lie. The rear end kind of kicked my butt a little more than I thought it was going to. And that just happens sometimes. Not a good week for working around here, guys. As they continue to enclose that shop, the noise echoes better in the chamber. It transfers through our wall. More louder than ever. And I mean, it is L-O-W-D. It's loud. Now, we've got to get everything we can get done today. Yesterday, Top Stitch Taylor came over and I did a little buffing on this where we could kind of look at some colors on it, and we got to looking and realize some stuff. Look at this blue. But if you look at the blue on the dash, it's got more of a green. And I don't know if that's from sun baking different, but then you go right back there and it's the regular blue. I don't know, guys. But me and him went through all of his books yesterday morning. He called a million places. I found some stuff online because we found the colors we think we want to do the interior with. Not that we think we want to do, it's locked in. Materials ordered, so he's gearing up and getting ready. He had to look at some things. He showed me like that right there. That's no bueno. No rust flakes are allowed on that piece apparently. Yeah, that's what clips onto the top of your door for your door panel, and we got to have one of them. Nope, we got to have two of them, driver's side as well. So then we start trying to source and find stuff like that, because we got to get all this stuff coming So when he's ready for that thing, hopefully next week or so, he said, we're not then trying to, you know, pull our heads out our hind end. I think we're gonna start, I dropped this down where Taylor could have a look-see yesterday in the interior, but while we got it down, I really wanna build a little heat shield. Something that can just slide right down in there and whoop, hug that ram horn collector area. We got a couple plug wires, but then there's our brake line. Underneath there, there's a fuel line. Those are transcooler lines. We got roughly 1.25 inch gap between all of that. But if we could put a little shield there, it'd make me feel better. So let's see what we got here. I ain't gonna be too picky. And hey, I'll take a piece of that right there. What is that, 4 inch? Sure is. I know 4 inches when I see it. Pull that handy dandy marker out the pocket and we'll get us a speed square and see if we can't figure out where we want to slice this thing. According to that, we need about 4 inches worth, 4 inches in length. So we may have to cut us a chunk and then kind of flatten it out some, take some of the curve out of it. I say we just wing it and dang it and see what happens here. Winging it and dinging it's how we built the whole wagon, guys. Just gonna go, 3.25 inches down. I think that'll be real big. Hey, there's a piece of paper. Take our piece of paper and connect our dots. Give us a line to follow. Sounds like somebody's here, aka probably Mr. Adam Wilson, who wants to fire up these air conditioners even though it's cold outside and it's perfect in here. Don't you know it's cold outside now? We need to be firing up them heaters. We got AC. Oh, do we need it? No. No. We don't need it, but we got it. We got it. That's right. Adam just left. We fired up both units, came in. One was sitting at like 66. One was sitting at 68. And I said, turn them suckers off, guys. The shop felt perfect before he got here. Now it's a little chilly in here. So obviously the units are powered up. We got our air conditioning. It's nice and cool outside. In fact, this morning was cold, like almost, I should have had my bibs on. I'll tell you what the temperature was, but I ain't got cell phone service in here. Anyhow, yeah, there's still plenty to keep going though. I gotta figure out how to get them plumbed together, and the gas line ran to the other end of the add-on because that's where the meter's gonna need to go. Then we gotta get it metering, get the meter there. Anyhow, back to our heat shield. That's just more behind the scene distractions we got going on. But our piece is rough cut here. I really should deburr that before we slice off a finger, but let's just kind of hold it there and see. Yep, we definitely need to flatten her out quite a bit. I think we'll get to flatten it out and then trim it down. We're gonna try to flatten her right there. That's looking a lot better. Yeah, that's looking more like what I'm kind of interested in right there. I actually think the length is good. It's curved really good. I'm gonna try to take a little bit of that out. It just needs a tap or two on that. Other than that, we're gonna round some corners, deburr it. Then we gotta figure out how to mount it. Cut off that corner, about 1/8 inch worth. I messed up. Not good. All right, as you kind of seen, maybe you didn't. I missed my line. I didn't even realize that. No big deal. Trim it back. We'll clean that up. Cleaned up our edge. Kind of knocked all the coating off that. Now we got to figure out our tab. I'm wondering if we can't just do a single tab, a good heavy duty one, off the stud. The stud that sticks out right there. This one was in our scrap cabinet. I'd cut that out of the old plasma table. I'm wondering if we can't step that hole out. That needs to be a size bigger. Be able to slide that on. Time for a little steppy. Hopefully this will start. Maybe too thick. Yep, she's a little too thick. Hey-o. She's getting a little hotter as we go here. Now that wasn't the prettiest cut job, but if we get enough material off there that we know it'll fit, we'll clean it up. Put on the left glove, had to reach down there with the right hand, so that was super efficient. But it did fit on there, so we just need to make her a little prettier now. Oopsie daisy. Oh, and it landed on the cross member. She's a little too long. You almost had it. Oh, you almost had it. There we go. Get her nut started. Now you can see how that tab's hanging off there. And I'm gonna hold that where I want it and mark that sucker out. I did 2 lines. The first one was too far out, so we're gonna favor the one closer to our hole. And actually, I decided to kick the AC units on. That way these suckers can run. And yeah, I wanna see how it does over there on that side of the shop. That one's aiming straight that way, so I think it will move air there. I know people have their doubts. Just barely grind the center. Dang near perfect match. We're using real advanced stuff here. Marked where I wanted that corner to be, the bottom right there. And we're gonna go in about 1/4 inch. So we're gonna tack that about like so. One tack, let's go check it. That's what I was worried about. That cross member right there, I cannot drop that down there and on that, because that would overhang that. It starts to hit, and there's no way to wiggle it on there. I tried and tried. What we can do though is we should be able to move it to the rear stud. The shape of that tab should work. Obviously our shield's gonna work. We'll pop this off here, clean it up real quick, remark it back there, re-tack it, and try again. Yeah! Yeah! Hey, yo, there it is, that'll work. That's right. I'm gonna just weld it up, guys. That's a good position. Woo, she's hot. Yeah, nice and welded all the way through. Very simple heat shield. Take that, you rat bastards! This toy has not got old yet, guys. You're lucky I didn't do a front roll. If my lower back wasn't hurt right now, I was gonna front flip out that door. Little semi-gloss black engine enamel. Good up to 500 degrees, so it'll hold or it won't. Another reason I did not front roll or front flip was because duty calls, okay? You know what I mean, soldier? And I'll be back. I gotta do the pinch it off strut over to my house. Can't wait till we have the bathroom out here, because that's a long walk when you're turtlenecking. Yes, sir, we had a successful mission there, soldier. I put a lock washer with the nut. Even though Mortsky says lock washers don't work, what's he know? He's just a grumpy old man, that's all he is. Hopefully we get the deep well on her. Ah, that's tight. I did bend on it, I did just tweak on it, mainly because we cut the tab for the front side. It did not match up perfect for the back side, but I didn't want to redo it, guys. Overall, I'm really happy with that. It clears good. It's gonna mount super solid, and I know that don't seem like much, but I had a 64 4-door back in the day, and in peak heat, I was having fuel vapor issues, vapor locking, whatever. I added one little heat shield like that, and voila, problems were solved. What's actually weird about that story is it never did it the first summer I drove it. I never had a problem. It was actually the second summer where I started having issues. So, but then I was back up here in Oklahoma. I wasn't in Louisiana. So maybe the environment played into that. Them little things matter though, guys. This is part of getting this thing right. Cables extended, heat shield, move tabs, lines, bleed brakes, rear pinhole, brake jack, drag, loop brakes. We did not do that. Glass, interior, alignment. We did the pitman. Door tops I need to get from D and H. Test drive, and then torque converter. That's actually for the torque converter lockup. Hey baby, you putting off good vibes only? That's what I'm talking about. Oh girl, what do you think about the new shop over there?
There'll be a door over there.
Yeah, there'll be a door by where the sink is. You think the new shop looks good?
I like how like this is the shop and then there's a door there and then you have like open space. And then you have another shop over there. It's like
the concrete area, so Dad can do stuff out there and y'all can't even see me.
you'd be like welding and we'd be like, where's he at? I don't think he's here. Let's just leave. And you'd be like, where you guys at? I'm at home right now. Where are you at? I'm at home? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, duh. Had to give Hot Rod the tour. That makes Dad happy. Obviously the two older girls, they don't care what I'm doing here, you know what I mean? But Hot Rod, she still does from time to time, not as much as she used to. But for her to show up and want to check out the place and, you know, ask for what's going on with the shop and stuff, you dang right we got time for a tour. So our torque converter, we need to run a wire for it for the torque converter lockup is what that is a reminder for. It's just a 12-volt key, I do believe. So we need to get our meter and do some check-in, see if we can't find us a ignition source. Whoop! Could do this with a test light or whatever. And this would be a lot easier to do with it off the lift. But positioning this car, it's gotta be literally just right to pick up on it. I actually had a few people message me wanting to know what lift I got because they can't pick up X-frame cars with theirs. But what I'm getting at is I don't want to take it off here because it's a pain, so we'll just sneak in here. Don't mind me. We're going in. ACC, that should be accessory. Found one. Key off, 0 volts. Key on, 12 volts. We can connect off of that sucker right there. That should make this whole little job pretty simple. I noticed as well that it was right by either the parking brake cable, no, probably the speedo cable, where the speedo cable passes through the firewall. I don't know what that wire was for, but we're gonna use it. And I want to use black wire. I'll show you why in a second. Yeah, we can get away with a red one too, which means we can use a tighter heat shrink even. All right, that'll be one end. Dang it. Torch is down by the grill on the back porch. Be careful. Play with fire, you get burnt. Now here's why I want to do black wire. So right here's where we're going to pass through, right by that speedo cable, and it is black. Now obviously that's going to guide down towards the transmission, which is where we're headed anyhow. So to me it makes sense just to do a black wire, zip tie with black zip ties, and kind of run it along there. Nice, easy way to do it that should help it kind of disappear and blend. Get us plenty of slack. We're gonna hit that with the cut attack. Working upside down is my favorite. It's whooping me, guys. Oh, there it went. Yeah, buddy. Woo! Pull a little harder. Did that with the pick because I didn't want to rip her wiring. Get out of here, we'll pull her through. Oh yeah, here it comes. That's about it. Alright, pull our slack back this way. Just a hair. That way. We can turn and go right there. They don't look too shabby. We'll go ahead and zip tie what we can. They had me doing the tippy toes trying to get a calf muscle on me. Man, oh man. Work it out. Stretch it out. Got them old shaggy legs going. Zoinks! 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 Y'all don't like Scooby-Doo? I Scooby-Doo. You Scooby don't. That worked out pretty slick. Kind of disappears, keeps it from rubbing on anything, and literally comes right down where we're headed, which maybe y'all can see that pin is marked. So we got to get some type of connector down in there. I better look and see what kind of connectors I got. I did some digging. I don't think I have what I would need to cut down in there. We only need the one wire hookup. Oh, I might have too much fun with this place until it gets insulated. The four-wheel drive is supposed to have a 700 R4 in it. I'm not saying I'm willing to cut it off there and rob the pigtail from this vehicle, mainly because apparently it's not there. Because I was 100% gonna cut that sucker off there. What are we gonna do now? Problem is, I don't even know what style of pin we could just find a single connector to use. When life gives you lemons, guys, you gotta make a lemonade. So we'll hop in the old yeehaw here and we'll just head to get us a bite to eat. I just called Sammy at St. Louis Salvage. He said he'll check on one for me. Yeah, we may need a little gas. We'll just do a junkyard trip to get what we need. Good day for cruising the yeehaw anyhow. Woo! Fifth gear, baby. Got some gasoline. Decided to just grab a sandwich there because I didn't plan on having to spend this hour going and getting a part, but it is what it is. This keeps us fast and mobile. We'll be there in a jiffy. Don't make me downshift. Hop in a skip down the road. Here we are. If it's stolen, we don't want it. Dang. Got the old Big Daddy here, huh? Got your lunch to go. Got leftovers in the center console. Oh, she is tricked out. Budweiser air freshener over there. Got the vents, cassette player. What in the altimeter? This baby's got all the accessories, including the house carpet on the rear view. Door handles. Dang, she's a rig. He said he ain't got nothing new, but I don't remember seeing no two-door 64 sitting right here. Dang sure not two of them. 64 two-door, I don't care if it's hard top, whatever, guys. 64 two-doors, a bucket list car for me, along with the 64 wagon. Still a little rougher than what I'd probably want. This one I could see was a Bel Air. Yeah, that one too. Of course, you could get them as Impala, Bel Air, Biscayne, or Biscayne if you pronounce it like I pronounced it the first time I seen it. She's pretty simple, wasn't she? No power steering, no power brakes, no power nothing. And notice right here we got us a four-door. She done been whammied. Yeah, that one's a Biscayne. Yeah, this is what I used to have, 64 Biscayne four-door. This one was AC car, but no power steering neither. Mine was AC, power steering, power brakes. It had all the bells and whistles. All right, I think they're still getting my pigtail pulled. But we got a few steelies to pick up while we're here. Sammy done grabbed two of them. Here's the other. These are gonna end up going on the old man van eventually. Had a little custom paint job going on two of our Steelies here. That's what we need right there, guys, that connector. So we are good to go. So let's take a little look-see at our harness. Take her little harness here. Yeah, she's got a few splits, I see. Let's go see which one goes where. Looks like our clip here needs to face forward. Yep, that'd be right. We need to keep that wire there. Snip, snip. And let's see if we can clean this up a little bit, because whatever this came off of, well, she was leaking a little bit of something, or a little bit of everything. What if, let's hit it with a brake clean blast, see what that does. It's helping a little bit. Our wagon's looking too sharp to be putting sloppy stuff on it, ain't it? Yeah, I think so. Brush on her a little bit, like brushing your teeth. We're gonna cut this wire close, and let me show you why. Look right there. She's got hot before, it looks like, all cracked out. We're just gonna have to go close with it. About as close as you're gonna get right there. All right, snip. Up on our heat shrink. Here we go, 6 hours into a heat shield and running a wire that should have took an hour and a half max. Woosah, everything will be okay. Everything will be a-okay. Crimp her down. I'm pretty sure this is one of the butt connectors that heat shrink as well. And if it ain't, it's about to anyhow. Oh yeah, she's sucking down. There we go. Now we can get our other heat shrink on. Double heat shrink action. She's a little warm, but we're gonna pop it on. Here she goes. She clicked on. Do we have any other 30-minute task that we could possibly take 3 hours? Checkmate. I think that's it as far as what we needed on the lift. I did put on there that we were gonna lube up the rear brakes, but we can't get those. I don't think we'll get the tires off with it like that. Dag nabbit! I never even put the wires back on. I meant to show y'all, I looked at our power steering pump, and I did not see any fluid on the bottom. AKA, we may have fixed our leak. It may have been that bolt, guys. A little more driving will tell. But that's the first time out of this whole thing that there ain't been none underneath there. Old Squeaky lives on. All right, to actually get them wheels and tires off, we got to jack up the car and get that rear end really swinging out from underneath there. About to get a blower to stick through the hood. That damn Hot Wheels stance going on. Dang camera turned. Got the meat off though. And now we can look at our disc brakes. I don't know what I'm looking at though, if I'm being honest. First time someone asked me if I'd lubricated the brakes, I thought they were being a smart ass. I didn't know it was a real thing, and I'm just being honest with y'all. Most old stuff I'd always worked on always had drum brakes. Y'all can tell when it comes to the newer stuff, I lack some knowledge. You can also tell when it comes to the older stuff, I lack some knowledge. Then I got this, ceramic extreme brake lubricant. I was like, man, someone spent some time on this little practical joke. They made a real label and everything. Come to find out, guys, no, it's just a real thing. I'd read the instructions, but it's covered by this label. I'm just gonna look it up. I don't know if this even applies to this style of disc brake or what. So just kind of looking, obviously, our caliper here kind of floats. If it does move, it's going to move right here and on our bushing over here. And I'll shove on that, but I don't know if I can get it to move enough that y'all can see. Should be a 3/8, I think. Yeah, be kidding me. Well, we were gonna pull them out there, but whoever decided to index that hose facing rearward has blocked the bottom bolt from coming out. So I'm gonna do what any good mechanic would do. I'm gonna put this crap right back together and hope we fixed our dragging problem with the parking brake cable situation. And then if it keeps dragging, we'll worry about it. Before we try to drive this thing an hour tomorrow, I guess I will go take it for a quick little 10-15 minute drive around here. Most of the other stuff is kind of cleaning on some stuff anyhow, assuming we fixed our drag and brake. Oh yeah, took it pretty fast over a couple bumps, guys, and no more clanking in the rear. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ain't no more. Check out that work rig right there. You dang right. That Ford was a rig and a half. It's riding awesome. Brakes still feel amazing. Every bit of this thing has been amazing, guys. But also I noticed no more dragging. Bad news. Drag, drag, drag goes the brake again. I can't catch a brake with these brakes. But I can catch a brake with that power steering. That's right. I don't think we're leaking down there anymore, guys. That little bolt on the bottom that I thought I fixed with the thread tape has been my problem since then. That's part of it, guys. Brake dragging definitely sounds like it's coming from the driver's side to me. I'm pretty sure Slick said it sounded like the driver's side to him too. So we're gonna take a look-see on that side and see if we can eyeball anything. Now what is causing a ruckus in here? The spider web or the grass? Just kind of curious what happens when we kind of mess with this here. I remember I took these off. I remember it didn't matter how they went on. That's all I remember. Yeah, we'd have to be pretty far off for that to be like wrong. She still feels about the same. Put that back on. Next we're gonna break this banjo bolt loose and turn or line that away and then retighten it, I guess. That's probably no good because that's gonna aim right at our panhard bar mount on this side. Damned if you do and damned if you don't. I don't really know what I'm looking for here, guys. I just kind of to the point where I want to take this sucker apart and just try putting it back together, hoping, you know, I don't know. Nothing should be able to be off. Looks like we might have a little paint on these. Yeah, I'm sure that's causing it, you know what I mean? We're gonna clean up our bushings too. We'll go back together with this. I did put just a very small amount of that lube on our bushings. I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but you know what? I'm kind of to the point I don't really care. It's not a good point to be, but I don't know why this is being so ornery. Yeah, honestly, the lube just seems like a bad idea to me because nothing's sealed. So eventually that's just gonna catch dirt and grime and everything else it probably don't need. Just kind of at a loss at what's causing this. I think the road I live on is cursed, guys. First time it ever started doing it is the first time I turned onto my road. And since then, I can go for drives and literally make it back home. And when I turn onto that road, all of a sudden it starts. Go turn onto any other road, no problem. Turn onto this road, and all of a sudden. So I went and did some more driving. Same thing. Everything seemed pretty good. I wasn't getting no crunching here or there. A little squeaking this time. A little skeet, 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 skeet. But no, wonk, 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 wonk. I was like, shoot, maybe we're onto something. And sure enough, turned back onto the road and wonk, wonk, wonk. Did a little bit, and I was like, did it just do it? I mean, it was real faint. And then, yeah, you barely ease into the brake, guys. Just barely give it some. Whomp, 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 whomp. I'm about ready to find some backing plates and put some drum brakes on the rear of this thing. You know what I mean? 412. I know we got to leave at 4:30 for soccer. So here I am chasing my tail on brakes again with still no resolution. Gotta love it. Good morning. That's right, I got it out here this morning. Now it feels great in the shop, but it is cold outside. When the lowest it's been is like 65, and now all of a sudden it's like damn 40, okay. Anyhow, soccer yesterday, hot rod, got 2 goals, guys. She usually plays defense. She's so fast, they want to put her on offense where she can smoke everyone. And they tried her on offense for the first time, and 2 goals, baby. I used to play striker in soccer, and I used to tear at them goals, okay? So Dad's proud on that one. Always proud of her. So this morning, I still want to figure out her dragging brakes. Pulled her all apart again. This time I wanted to pull the rotor off and make sure there wasn't some piece of dust or particle or slag or something behind this. Having this a little whoopy dude. And I didn't find nothing, and I didn't really think I would, guys, but I just want to check everything. What's really throwing me off is the first 50 miles was problem-free out of this thing. And it's just weird that now that we've had another, like the last 20 to 25 miles has been problematic. I talked to Aaron yesterday, and he said I need to check these pads and see if the edges, the leading or trailing edges, are tapered. And these pads are not. So your rotor's obviously circle, so if it was sitting here, as that sucker's rotating up, it's these edges that you want kind of tapered. Now these ones are not, so we are going to try tapering these. So here's a little fun fact. Brake pads contain or possibly contain bad stuff, that asbestos. I've been working on them brakes as best as I could, and I still ain't got them fixed. So you don't want to breathe that stuff in, and I did not know that. In fact, I don't remember what, maybe it was the Travelall pads. I just went to town on them with my little grinder, and y'all were like, hey, you're going to kill yourself. I didn't know. So we're going to see how well a file will do on them pads. Sure is taking a while. Custom brake pads, you seen it here first, folks. They got a taper to them now, I guarantee it. They actually seem to work really good. Passenger side, I did the same thing, guys. Blown her all the way apart, grinded her pads, cleaned all the stuff, lubricated her little bushings, and just inspected everything, and it just goes together flawlessly. I mean, it feels amazing going together. So I'm about at my wit's end on what to even try with the thing. Let's go take her for another test drive. Been driving about 10 minutes around, guys. So far, so good. All right, baby. Full trip around the town. No dragging going down. Is it possible we have, oh yeah, forgot about the echo. Is it possible we have her fixed? Perhaps. Perhaps. Guys, that felt good. Now I keep telling y'all it's part of the shakedown. It's part of the shakedown. Stuff like that can get frustrating, and I'm not saying it's fixed yet, okay? Wait, more miles is gonna determine that. But in the last couple of weeks, I ain't been able to do that loop I just done without it doing it. At least usually about halfway through, it'll start doing it. So that's a good sign. We're definitely headed in the right direction there. And yeah, I think yesterday it was probably a good thing I had soccer, because I just kind of needed to get away from the thing. Got out here this morning, just, you know, fresh brain, and you know, just got after it, and it seems to be what we need. What we need seems to be what we need to get her on the road without it driving me crazy, because that crunching and rubbing or whatever was going on was driving me crazy. Got about a 50-minute drive roughly, guys. I'm gonna head that way. This trip was going really good until we got passed by a chrome Corvette, for crying out loud. Might as well take my man card and toss it out the window. Hey, puppy doggies. Hey now, you gonna scratch my paint. And then 2, literally, as we turned onto this road and started coming down it, when I turned on the road braking, I got a rump from the back. Been driving this whole time, 50-minute drive, stopping. Brakes worked amazing because I almost missed my turn and I was running like 80 and I came to a stop pretty quick and it just smooth as can be. But turning onto this road, little like it's still doing it. Holy evergreen feeds. So here we are. I thought we finally had her whooped, and lo and behold, she gives me a little more trouble. Our caps are on this side. I didn't hear us lose a cap, but I was curious. And then we still got them all. Guys, the road leading up to this place, it's got all kinds of highs and lows and dips and jolts to it. And if I can drive this down that road and not have any troubles, which I did, you just got to know how to drive the slam stuff, guys, because that cross member, do y'all see that? I mean, I'm talking about literally less than 2 inches. And I'm talking about this road out here has some of them crowns and highs in it that are 6 inches. So if you don't know how to cradle, you're going to be in bad shape. I did get the gravel pulling into here, but I wasn't too worried about that. Look, guys, evergreen feeds, just like that sign in our shop. Like that big sign in our shop. That's one of our good size ones. It's got the flatbed on it, and it's tubbed out, ready to be slammed. Look how they were in the stake pockets with it. That's pretty damn cool. That thing's just begging to be slammed down. Should be independent front suspension, right? You dang right. Oh, curveball. Got a torsion bar set up. I figured it was going to be a coil spring. Oh, yeah. Should have known it was going to be a torsion bar. I think like the 60, 61, maybe 62s were, and then they went to coil spring. Super cool truck. No, we're not even going to try to buy it. I know people's going to say we should. However, we've got a big truck project, which is going to be the Lodestar. We're not going to change it out for that one. Now, we didn't come here to look at the new inventory, even though you can't help but look. We're here for some door panel toppers, so let's go find them. Speaking of Lodestar, I see a Lodestar front clip right there. Wonder if they got that pulled for. We could use a good fender on the passenger side. I think it'd be less work to just patch in a fender and then fake patina it, and that one's in damn good shape. Dang, got the Escalade with the fancy wheels, the off-road wheel. What kind of wheel is that? That's an off-road wheel. Got the street grapplers. They may be off-road grapplers, but they never leave the street, you know what I mean? No, that's 61, I think is over. Yep. All right, here we go. We'll take a little look around here. This one, yeah, no good. Kind of about the shape of ours. Shoot, if we needed some spare interior panels, we could get them right here. Same color and everything. We need one of these, but ours is better than this, so we don't need this one. Hey, that's interesting. My back bumper kind of bows and curves like that, and this one does too. You know what? There's actually a decent license plate light here. Both of them. I see that one screws plumb stripped out, but we need some of them. What's the 4-door next door have? It ain't got none. Kind of interesting. That one bows too, except she looks like she's been whammied before. I did not bring a lot of tools, but I did bring the impact machine. Oh yeah, much nicer than ours. We need a drill. I'll check with them. They may have one around here I can use before we leave. How are these ones? Oh, shoot, that thing's ready to come with me. Let's unthread that. And that's what we're actually after, I do believe. Well, removing these is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Thought we're going to have to pull all the little levers and all that kind of stuff. Last one right here, and it's going to be a pain, so I'm just going to get it out of there. Did some digging around, found us a drill, but I gotta go find a smaller drill bit where we can actually get the head of that thing off there. A little more digging, and I found some more drill bits. Now we just gotta find which one's sharp enough to actually do the job. All right, I think we're about there. Go to this little bit larger one. There it went. Oh, baby. Did not tear up our little bezel at all. Oh, I see. That has a shoulder on it that's down in there. So, we still got to get that unthreaded. Indoor, we got to drill every bit of that away to get our little bucket out of there. Now it's turning. Oh, man. I think I cracked our lens a little bit. 1,000 baby turns at a time. That's how you get it. The locking plier sticks down so far that we can't just clamp it and spin it or it'll hit the lens. Hey there, good looking. I see you in the bumper. All right, I think we got it, guys. She's a little rusted. Pull a little further and they just unplugged, come to find out. See the rust there? Ours is rusted out pretty bad. Said, I think I cracked that lens. Yep, right there. I accidentally hit it with the locking plier. Little crack. Still not upset about that though, because I did not plan on finding, I don't know. I've looked this wagon over before we'd been out here. I don't remember it having anything we needed. And actually, we're not done yet. Right there on the 4-door, right next to us, that bezel right there is in a lot better shape than ours is, guys. Now this one, on the other hand, she's a little RUFF. But maybe we'll get lucky somewhere and find an even better one for the driver's side. But ours are pretty good. I just lost that screw. Ours are pretty good, but I'll show you in a second how this one's better. Before we cut out of here, I'm going to check any of our X-frame cars for an air breather lid. Here's a little baby cleaner, not what we're looking for. And last X-frame car I've kind of seen right over in here anyhow. And hold, hey! Hey! I want to say this one's different than both of ours. I can't remember. No, this matches the other one. All right, I've got to ask about this too. We finally found us a air breather, I think. I think that's what we need to combine with the other one we have. We can use the base of the, triple stack them together and maybe we'll get what we want. So I was giving the go ahead on getting it. And then this, I guess, is for Top Stitch Taylor. So he just told me to pick this stuff up and go ahead and take it to him. All right, guys, I'm gonna grab this stuff for Taylor, put D&H's tools back, and then we're gonna hit the road. Oh yeah, show you real quick. Look, see how that thing's just been whooped on and beat on and dinged on. I think we can polish that one and bolt her right on. Improve about 8 horsepower, and our aesthetic points, they go up by about 37% minimum. All right, let's see if we're gonna drag brake all the way home. Oh yeah, I don't remember if I fixed all this. I know I messed with the fan, but guys, I changed this sucker to heat. You can swap between defrost or the feet and turn the fan on, and I was running the heater on the way down, so I forgot I done fixed the heat in this thing. When you're good, you're good. All right, baby, be good to us. Well, we didn't make it very far, did we? Oh my lordy. This thing right here, guys, is awesome. Talk about a perfect patina. I got the US Navy for official use on the door. Flatbed. This thing's 4-wheel drive, guys. Or all-wheel drive, excuse me. I seen that, but yeah, right there, all-wheel drive. Look at the front bumper with our D-ring sticking through. Oh, got some lift points or what? Holy front axle. That thing's beefier than a double meat chalupa. I think he said this one here like runs and drives. What a machine. Look, when you got 19 levers sticking through the floor, you know you found the right truck. Flatbed is sweet. Little ladder climbing up there. Hey, we sold them that a couple years ago. She's a looker. Got a little damage here or there. Glass is cracked. That fender needs fixed. Not bad by any means, guys. I'm not picking it apart. This thing just ain't for sale as parts. I don't even know he wants to sell it as a complete truck right now, just because it's awesome. All right, the international side of me had to stop and see that before we left. Carry on. Drove 38 miles, took 2.5 gallons. So we got about 15 miles to the gallon out of this thing. And I got some bad news, because we got some Mortski luck going on here. Hear that? That ain't no good. Oh, a something. Don't worry, just get the old prop rod. What's the dealio here, huh? I wonder how our heat shield did. Hey, pretty good. Can't even make it home in this turd. Can't get a good smack on it. Plus we're smacking it with plastic. All right, good Pot County legend stuff right here, baby. Old Pinky did it. Well, why is my battery dead?
Hey, with all battery charging.
And why is it running? Well, we made it home. We're gonna check the alternator real quick. And sure enough, as I pulled into the neighborhood, yet again, a small drag. And then as I pulled up right here, I think that crap may just be tight, guys. And maybe as it's getting hot and expands a little bit, it's still a little too tight. I'm pretty close to pulling them pads out of there and taking a little bit off of them, okay? A little custom grinding, if you know what I mean. .6. Well, now we know why she was dead. Alternating, no charging. Good stuff there. Before anyone says that thing's been converted to one wire, it self-ignites on the inside. It was charging before. That's a new issue. And that means that no, none of that right there has to be hooked up, okay? She should be working as is. Well, I think I've got extension cord right there. I reckon I'll pull the battery charger out and I'll go ahead and charge that battery up. And it looks like we got an alternator to address. We may mess with the brake pads again in the rear. I do believe that's the air breather I've been wanting to combine with our other one to make a dual snorkel unit. So we may mess with that. We'll swap out our bezel and stuff. Guys, I think on the main channel, I think we're gonna be done with the Wagon DUN. Y'all have got to see this thing go from being sitting in the junkyard to majority of our shakedown stuff now kind of figured out. And I just don't think it's worth drawing out more content out of. Yes, I still need to buff the interior panels, but I'm honestly not too worried about that, because how much are y'all going to want to watch buffing panels? It's the same old thing. So that's enough small stuff where maybe one day next week I'll pick a day and do that for the second channel. Just finishing up some loose odds and ends. Luckily this week I was able to get a good picture of it all together on the ground with the bumpers, all the crap on, okay? All the stuff we need to go ahead and start the artwork for the t-shirts for that thing. A lot of y'all's been asking. Trust me, I'm excited about it. I think that thing's gonna make a killer t-shirt. Cause that wagon, well, if you ask me, it just has a look to it, guys. That thing looks tough. Oh yeah, she does. Who cares if she's got a piece of wood propping her hood open? We put over a good 100 miles on it today, and found another problem, alternator action. But anyhow, that's it. I'm on Instagrammer. I'm on the Patreon. I do have a Facebook page, even though I don't really do nothing on there. But you can kind of keep up with stuff. Sometimes when I post to Instagram, it posts to that. So if we give heads up about merchandise and stuff like that, you know, you might get you a little sneak peek action right there. And much past that, I need to get all my junk out of here and a battery charger right there. Guys, I can't thank you enough for all the support coming back and watching. I hope y'all enjoyed the wagon. I know some people are saying too many foreign mini trucks, too many this, too many that. Well, right there, 61 Chevy wagon, guys, and pretty cool build. I really like how it turned out with the Mr. Horsepower and the little kind of hot rod influence on it. So I hope y'all guys enjoyed it too. I will see you guys next time. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish a project. I'll see you guys next time. Hi-ho, through the junk we go. I hate that wagon, the brakes keep dragging. Hi-ho, hi-ho, hi-ho.